going on, Mr. Dave on the rock pile? A little update here for you folks out there in internet land. We're working on this crazy monster Alpine job here in Alpine, California, and it's been toasty the last few days. Been kind of melting me pretty good, upwards of 100 degrees, and yeah, lots of fun. And still wrestling with the 1/2-inch rebar, as I've spoken of in prior videos. But let's take a walk, just update you on how our progress has been going. The flagstone has been laid just about complete on this area, which I talked about in one video about how to do that, at least the basic concepts. Our stairs are going to come out of the pool right there and allow for people to, swim over here, just get out and walk back and then get into this whole structure. It is a big one. You can see that rock right there. Water level somewhere in here, but the structure goes all the way down to the floor, which is inside the grotto space, and carries all the way over to this side of the pool where there's this huge area of walk around area. It's like 3.5, 4 feet deep, and we've got these little bar stools that are going to go around this whole area. There is going to be actually a kitchen right here, and it's going to be built in the similar timber approach as we have there. We see there, just heavy duty, beautiful big beam construction that the contractor hired me does. He does amazing stuff. So this whole area is going to have a kitchen, and how exactly that goes, I don't know. But flagstone's all been laid in around here. We protected this with visqueen plastic. All this whole area we've laid out, and we put plywood over it, so when I drop my bender bars, I don't crack the rebar. I'm still shaping things out. We've got our slide tube coming through here where Daniel's working. This right here is going to be a rock. That horizontal is where the rock's going to come flat and be flat. So all those pieces up there need to be bent over, and we're doing that with these bender bars. Figuring out the shape on this boulder here. It's going to be like a huge, big open space inside the structure. We'll walk in there and take a look at that. They're putting in the pegboard as this stuff. Again, it's just tie wires that go around the back, and then we use dobies or pieces of concrete and break them up and give us our space. We want the outer surface of the concrete or shotcrete to be at least 1 inch, 2 inches off the rebar. That cuts down on the chance of moisture getting in there. This shows a piece of that little spacer, that concrete mortar spacer. And so we've got the rock up here on this top section in pretty good shape, as I almost trip on my booty. So that's going to be the basic shape of that. These sticks are going to be wrapped down and around, and continue the process is going to be continued there with the design there. This boulder here is the right side of this cave entrance, and there'll be a waterfall coming off right here, right over here, and that's going to be a pond up on top as well, which is going to be pretty awesome. And we do the pegboard again with tie wires. Inside, put the pegboard in. You can just pick any hole, put it through, put a spinner on here and just spin it. You're good to go. Excuse me. So we pre-poured these concrete pylons, lots of rebar inside them to give us some real strong support points, and those are all going to be encased in concrete, all this going up here, and all these walls are completely filled in, another 3 inches out about. And so this is the inside of it. We pre-stage a big board. This is just sitting here, but the tension is so hard it's not coming out at all. And we put the pegboard underneath it, so we could then just finish the whole peg structure under, that goes underneath the rebar above. This will then, I'm going to pour this before we actually do the shotcrete, because I like to pre-stabilize everything. Back wall's got the pegboard going on, which is really cool. And so I just need to bring that 3-inch PVC, and I think that's 2-inch. We'll bring that around over along the back of this little area, and then up right here to go up into the waterfall starting pond, which will be up top, and the slide. And so I'm gonna walk up here and take a gander. Before I do that, I'll show you this little platform area that we built out. We just took the steel that was going up and laid it over. So there is steel going all the way down to the pool structure down in here. Not sure how well you can see that. Those little bends just came out. We just made those out and then loop them on up. 1/2 inch everywhere, and we got our stuff on the back side. We're going to pre-pour this whole thing too. That'll stabilize some of this wiggleness, if you will, a little bit. But it's 1/2 inch, so it's not going to go too far. Going to finish right inside this area with a tube, casting tube. We're going to cut the right length and then cut it in half and then open it up and then put it around and then tape it or what have you. Oh, excuse me. I'm having my smoothie this morning and I'm burping. So we'll get that going, then pour this whole floor. Again, prior to shotcrete, we've got our steps. These are just big rise steps. So on shotcrete day, I'll put a step here probably, maybe one over here, so you can boom, 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 and make it work. So we're now sort of over the back of the pool structure itself. There's another pylon over there that goes way down into the dirt, 3 to 4, 5 feet, I think. And I didn't build it. The contractor and his team helped out, which was great. So back here we have the railing. And again, this is so folks can climb up to the top of the structure, because we had to have access to our slide right there. And that was not, we just had to figure out a way to do it. So you sort of make it up as you go. Right in here in some fashion will be the starting pond. And some of the water is going to have to transition this way over into this pond and then dump out. And then we have a singular pipe that'll just do the slide trough, which will go down through here. Everything's coming in 2 to 3 inches, so that's why you have to kind of overbuild things a little bit. The roof of the tunnel is going to come down again with pegboard and dobies and get that separation. This whole area is the spillway. Waterfall is going to be out here somewhere and fall down and dump into the pool, or dump into this stream bed, if you will. We're going to pre-pour that too, and then it'll bounce down and come out there. Going to have to redirect some of the water also to be able to come down and then come off the top of the slide over there. So I'm going to do that probably with 3/8 inch after we get the structural rebar in there. And so need a little bit more steel in this area to flush it out. There'll be another bench step down where I'm walking. So that area will have another step. Probably do that in 3/8 inch. But you can see how much steel is below my feet, man. A lot of stuff. And most of this is the 60 grade stuff that just could not bend it at all. It was so hard to bend. So we were able to use it, all the little bend ups. We had to use the bender bar cutter that I've got. All these will be bent over and cut probably, because there's much more than we need to make that boulder right there. I'll use those sticks probably to reinforce these areas, maybe add a little bit more, bringing them down, because we do have that cantilever out there. That's going to get pre-poured as well before shotcrete day, so the guys with the hoses can walk all over this thing and nothing's going to sink or settle or bend or bow on the project at all, which is kind of cool. So I'm taking you on a little tour, walk around a thing. So here's that big boulder I was talking about. And like on the other video, I mentioned how we establish one piece of rebar, and then that gives you something to key into in terms of your planes that you're working on, and you can continue to make key boulder angles with pieces of rebar. This one came along here, could have been anywhere up and down, but I picked that spot, and so that's where then those can key up and pitch over. Again, that horizontal steel right there on the other side of this guy is going to be where the rock comes across. I might even put a notch in it. It looks like it's sort of set up for that. Over here we have the burlap process being illustrated. I'll move my little, this is to give us some shade. And so here's our slide trough right here, and then there's going to be water bouncing around, going across, coming over, boom. And that crazy big boulder will be a place to jump from, but you just want to make sure you jump in the deep part of the pool. Still got to figure out the starting pond, you know. That's all. This stuff is one piece of rebar at a time, and you create your shapes and you make it the way you want it, or the way it has to be given the parameters of the structure that you're building. So we will carefully always keep one hand or two on, you know, on top of what you're doing or holding on to something. and you don't want to crash and fall and go boom boom. So now we're on the inside of this structure, and that's going to be poured solid all the way up above water level. And so now we're looking out the slide tunnel. At this point, we've got a space between the right side of the slide and this column, rock column, so people are going to fly through here. So we're, I think that'll be fine. So we're going to see how that goes. The side of the slide will be open right there, so you'll be able to look in, and they maybe will see the splash when the riders come down. We've got to fill in these gaps with more 1/2 inch to get the engineering requirements met. And this 1/2 inch steel is utterly brutal. The burlap, again, you push it in on the inside and then push it out, and you lay it on the inside, push it out, and attach it with a hog ring, and you just put them on. You can do the push test with your finger and see how bad it sinks in, and that tells you whether or not you need to put another hog ring in there. Again, we got our concrete dobies separating the steel from the structure. So here's that big crazy rock. Has to be that tall because people are going to be walking off the edge of the pool down in here, and you got to make it so people can't bump their head in at all. And there's no way, cannot happen. So waterfall's coming down here, boom, 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 and off into the pool. And here's that 1/2 inch steel, big as my finger almost. So I'll walk around. So here's all our pegboard in preparation for Shotcrete Day. Sort of a patchwork quilt of stuff. Over here is going up. You can see it's just everywhere. Good thing is, you're getting your coverage over your steel, and this just pops up. All these pieces just pull off, cut them off, they're out of here. Going to continue to bench over and put another step on top of that. Maybe another one down in the corner here. We'll see. But so I'm going to hike out of here. And this is the same place that I showed bazillions of pipes going everywhere. And so here's the outside. This is like the full-on update on the Alpine monster job. Pool, again, the dirt level outside here is going to be with the pool. All this is going to be filled in and backfilled and compacted and made pretty. So there you go. That's looking at from a distance here a little bit. So quite the amazing project. Pretty amazing. This right here is going to have some rebar put into it, and then we're going to build some kind of a little table platform around here. It's going to be a faux rock one though. That'll be sort of the idea. And here's I think it's going to be 10 feet deep. Pretty much there. So there you go, guys and gals out there, all you fake rock fans. A full-on big ginormous update on the crazy monster Alpine job. And so looking forward to getting the Shotcrete done. That's just a huge fast forward, if you will, in a sense. Once you get the rebar, it's all ready for Shotcrete. Shotcrete goes in and the whole thing looks just amazing after one day. It might take a couple trucks here to get all this stuff filled in, at least, maybe more. So anyway, Mr. Dave here. Remember to go to davehenderson.podia.com if you want to learn how we do this. Got some free stuff for you down there. You can download some PDF files. I think there's some videos you can watch and stuff. Have for sale products. Whatever you invest in is a great help for me. I'm trying to build my online business a little bit so I don't have to keep doing this at least as hard. So whatever you purchase, I really appreciate it and hope you find it of value. So there's that, and then there's www.daverhenderson.com, and there you will find blogs and links to other platforms. So lots of stuff to consume, gobble up, check out. The YouTube channel is there also. There's a link to my YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe if you have not already, so you can see our latest updates and how we move through the process. it is a big update. You can kind of see how we're working it through, getting the shapes, putting the backing, whether it's pegboard or burlap, in preparation for the shotcrete. We're also going to be putting in lights in this structure, and just continuing to get everything ready for the big day. So we'll keep you updated on this thing as we move along. So remember, subscribe if it's YouTube channel, and share this stuff around if you can. It's always cool to watch the creative process in action. And lastly, remember to be thankful and forgiving, and let people see your smile, make people laugh, and be grateful and forgiving. Those are the keys to a happy life, and you get more dialed in, and then the community gets more dialed in, your family's more dialed in, the country's more dialed in with people who are forgiving, humble, and grateful. And we need a lot of that these days. It's harder and harder to do that. So anyway, God bless you guys. Get to know Jesus if you haven't already. Get him in your heart. He's coming back, and you want to be ready, and it's going to be soon. The signs of the time are just crying out for just what the book says. So God bless you guys. Until next time, Mr. Dave on the Rock Pile. We'll see you then. Okay, bye.